Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Wednesday, November 3rd, 2021. It's good to be with everyone. We're back for another exciting installment in the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update series. Today, of course, is Wednesday, making it a Alex show. We have senior analyst here at Kraken Cryptocurrency with us. Alex, my man, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good stuff, good stuff. All right. Well, it's nice to have you back on the show. Alex, of course, couldn't make Monday's show because his internet was a little flaky. No big deal. I held it down. But after a nearly week-long hiatus, it's good to have Alex back on the show. We're going to be getting into the technical analysis portion of the show in about 30 or so minutes. So stand by for that. Look forward to hearing Alex's thoughts on all the latest market machinations. With that said, guys, you know how the next 90 minutes is intended to unfold. Might actually run a little less than 90 minutes. It is Wednesday, meaning we have to go to a community mentorship session at 3 o'clock. We might attempt to wind things down, say, after 75 minutes. Yes, we're going to, of course, look after the intro where we look at the news. We will shout out the audience. We'll take a look at the bubbles. Let's see what the price action is like in the alt space. Kind of red today. And then, of course, we'll get into the TA. Finally, we will wrap the show up by taking a look at some of your requests and giving away some DLive lemons. So let's do it, guys. We got 90 minutes ahead of us. Let's start cracking, shall we? All right. Let's get into a few news items here, putting my first story up on screen here. All right, this first one comes from Cointelegraph. Money managers with zero crypto exposure risk being left behind. This according to a Bloomberg strategist. Is this coming from McGlone again? Let's have a look here. The career risk surrounding cryptocurrency shifting to money managers who don't have exposure to digital assets as opposed to those who are already invested, highlighting a dramatic shift in the institutional acceptance of Bitcoin and decentralized finance. This, of course, yes, to Mike McGlone, senior commodity strategist at Bloomberg. In the November edition of the Bloomberg Crypto Outlook, another foundational year for 2021 being described as a foundational year for the cryptocurrency market, further underscoring the long-term value proposition of digital assets. In this environment, money managers are risking falling behind and underperforming their peers who own crypto assets, wrote McGlone. Our graphic depicts 200% plus outperformance of the Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto and DeFi indices in 2021 versus the S&P 500. Indeed, guys, this is no mystery, no secret. Crypto does indeed have the ability to outperform traditional markets, and I guess here's Mike McGlone pointing out that you'd have to be a real Luddite of a, I guess, fund manager, money manager right now in today's 2021 era, going into 2022. Just too much, as McGlone puts it. Managers are expected to catch big trends ahead of the masses, and of course, allocating 60% to equities and 40% to bonds. Well, that it's pretty difficult to catch major trends like the ones, I guess, in crypto right now, McGlone points out. All right, interesting idea here. I don't know if Alex has any thoughts. What do you think? Crypto assets in one's portfolio a necessity for modern money managers? What do you think, Alex?
I mean, I'm sure some people make money without it. I think there's a lot of volatility in it. I mean, I don't think it makes sense for me to like talk about the way other money managers do stuff.
Fair enough.
I'm not a money manager, at least at this time, but it's just surely a lot of money is flowing into it. It would make sense to hedge your bets. That's all.
Indeed. With that said, let's continue. That would be a first article to touch on today from Cointelegraph. Let's get to this next piece. This comes from Decrypt. Actually, get to this one in a minute. Let me get to something more relevant here. Let's go put up in something more interesting. All right. Actually, this came across today. A bit of noise being stirred up in the EOS community. This article titled "EOS Can't Rely on Block 1 Anymore," says the EO Foundation CEO. Let's have a look here. Yves Larose, founder of EOS Network Foundation, discussed the project's future, its stance on the relationship between EOS and Block 1, while also outlining how it might move forward. Earlier this year, Yves Larose stepped down as CEO of EOS Nation, but he spoke today, revealed his thoughts on the relationship between EOS and Block.1, the company that was behind the project during its record-breaking ICO. According to Mr. Larose here, it has become obvious that the company only pretends to add value to EOS, but fails to support or catalyze any meaningful uprising. Quote, they have largely moved away from wanting to contribute, and their EOS is more of a liability than an asset. It's a liability on the legal front, it's a liability on the media front, and finally it's a liability in terms of overall finances. He's of course referring to the fact that Block.1 probably owns a mountain of EOS in the supply. In what seems to be a definitive call of breaking ties between both, Larose outlined that Block.1 is also providing challenges in terms of overall community participation. He says to the greater blockchain ecosystem, EOS is Block 1, and Block 1 is fraudulent. Therefore, EOS is fraudulent. The reality for those within the EOS ecosystem is that we have reached a consensus and agree with the assessment that EOS and Block.1 are fraudulent. They were negligent and overstated their capabilities. He argued that this particular separation is needed for a branding and narrative shift to take place. Hence, Larose added that a new entity is better suited to run these operations. So not surprisingly, he noted that the EOS Network Foundation is what he believes to be the best for the EOS network going forward, especially when it comes to taking matters into their own hands. He says, when I decided to pursue the launch of the EOS Network Foundation back in August, I did so with the mindset that the EOS community needed to take matters into its own hands to move forward a future where a EOS regains leadership within the greater blockchain ecosystem. He also talked about the 4 pillars of the project's roadmap, which should be formally announced in the coming week and should lay the foundations for EOS's new technical roadmap. Despite still being in drafts, the working labels for these include Audit Plus, Wallet Plus, Docu Plus, and API Plus. All right, so it looks like the EOS community is finally mobilizing. I guess they had enough with Block.1's management, seemingly only undermining community efforts, depending, I guess, who you talk to. But there you have it, guys. Expect a more formal move by this EOS's somewhat newly formed EOS Network Foundation to take place. How will they seize more control of the project away from Block.1? Not too sure, but hey, I guess I still am a bit of an EOS holder. But indeed, the project has kind of underperformed expectations, I guess, under-delivered. A lot of potential maybe still rests within EOS, but maybe you need somebody else stewarding the operations to kind of bring it to greatness. What do you think, Alex? I know you two are also a long-time EOS holder. Are you looking forward to maybe the community parting ways with Block.1 and maybe striking out on their own?
I mean, I don't think I've talked to a single person that trusts Block.1. They're a bunch of assholes. They've got billions of dollars and they refuse to use it to help, the project that it was raised for. They should probably go to jail for fraud, but that's not going to happen, so.
There you have it. All right, so with any luck, we can have maybe of a grassroots effort, maybe around EOS, the EOS Network Foundation. I wish the community best of luck wrestling some power, I guess, away from Block.1. With that said, let's continue to another piece. Here's from Decrypt, titled "Russia's Most Prestigious Skyscraper Happens to be Home to Crypto Hackers," according to a report. Interesting. Russia, let's see here. In Moscow city center, Russia's tallest skyscraper, known as Vostok, is facilitating business for hackers, cyber criminals, and money launderers. According to Bloomberg, experts have successfully linked at least 4 companies that are either based or operating within this building to launder money associated with ransomware activity. These 4 companies are Suex OTC, EggChange, and BuyBitcoin.pro. Or Suex OTC was recently cited, or per cited chain analysis data, has processed at minimum $160 million in fraudulent Bitcoin and illicit activity, high risk sources, and over the last 3 years. SUEX OTC is also said to have faced sanctions. Yeah, actually, we did cover the SUEX OTC sanctions for helping ransomware groups launder their funds. All right, go figure. So, a couple of these operations I haven't heard of, but I guess they are prominent in terms of the scummy parts of the crypto universe. But go figure. There's this luxury building, prestigious skyscraper where a lot of this happens. I guess if your destination is in Puerto Rico to hang out with Alex, if you're looking for set up shop in Moscow as a crypto IT person, maybe check out the Vostok skyscraper. Go figure. Tallest, maybe most luxurious office tower happens to host some of the shadier operators in the space. Man, Russia
Yeah, it's
seeming
kind of funny. You think they would rent like a less prestigious location, you know?
apparently money's good, and why
Yeah,
not? Maybe it keeps the heat off of you. You know, be one thing if you're running in some back alley. Maybe up here in some prestigious address in Moscow. Keeps the fuzz off your back. With that said, guys, kind of a light news day, so let's keep it rolling. Piece from U.TA talks about the XRP ledger, and it's back on track after a temporary halt. Say it ain't so. XRP ledger stopped processing transactions for about 15 minutes earlier today, according to one developer. XRPL is working like it's supposed to. Looks like we dropped below quorum for a little while. 4 validators were down. No transactions lost. All right, so just a little update. Maybe someone was transferring XRP earlier today. Noticed a bit of a problem on the network. Apparently solved now. Still, awkward hiccup. Glad to see it centralized enough that somebody scrambled to fix it. All right, validators fixed. Life back to normal in XRP. Doubt too many people even noticed the interruption. Let's continue. We got another piece here from Cointelegraph titled Goldman Sachs boosts tokenization efforts with a new partnerships. Interesting. An American investment bank, Goldman Sachs, backer of major crypto firm Circle, is strengthening its tokenization efforts by partnering with the blockchain startup Digital Asset. Partnership enables Goldman Sachs to use DAML, a development framework created by Digital Assets to allow financial institutions to build and execute agreements on the blockchain. Company announcing on Wednesday. One of the core digital asset technologies, DAML, will help Goldman Sachs develop its own end-to-end tokenized asset infrastructure that would support multiple asset classes on private and public blockchains. The announcement reads, Matthew McDermott, global head of digital assets at Goldman Sachs, said that DAML-based solutions could potentially accelerate blockchain-based digitization workflows, that's a mouthful, across financial institutions and clients by interconnecting various infrastructures. Here's a quote from this gentleman. As we continue to build out our tokenization capabilities, we need solutions that could rapidly capture the full complexity and diversity of assets at the heart of our business for both digitally native or tokenized traditional assets and be interoperable with multiple blockchains. Wow. So basically, another way of, too long didn't read on this one. Here's Goldman Sachs scrambling to modernize its backend, its infrastructure to deal with what is the future. Guys, it's not just going to be crypto assets and your digitally native tokens, but instead it's going to be tokenized traditional assets as well. I think these banks are going to be prepared to hold. This is the future. This is how better way to manage and track and keep an accounting, even for players like Goldman Sachs, than to tap the power of the blockchain. For all of this and more. So, tokenization coming to major banking operations near you. All the infrastructure needs beefing up. Good luck, Goldman. All right. Anything else? What other stories do I have still logged here on the news? I think that might have been it. This is one of the last ones, Cointelegraph. We're doing good on time today, guys. We'll have plenty of time to get into the TA in your request today. We'll just get into this last story titled Stablecoins Report. There is a stablecoins report that just released. SEC won't lead regulation and Congress is urged to act. All right, let's have a look. November 1st, United States President's Working Group on Financial Markets, the PWG. We reported on this before, and it's finally released its long-anticipated report and policy recommendations regarding stablecoins. The document's main focus is on prudential risks that, quote, payments stablecoins Okay, so prudential risks on those payment stablecoins or those meant to maintain a stable value against reference fiat currency could pose to users and financial stability. Yes, these stablecoins, not so much Bitcoin, not so much these other tokens. It's the stablecoins that could very well pose the greatest systemic risks. And that's what this PWG report explores. And the key message behind it is that while stablecoin use is currently largely limited to facilitating digital asset transactions, under certain conditions, this asset class could achieve much wider retail adoption, necessitating a comprehensive federal prudential framework to be enacted by Congress soon. All right, so basically the report says, Congress, get your ass to work, because we need to wrangle this bull known as the stablecoin. Here's a rundown of consequential points that this report has raised. All the PWG composed of all these people, blah blah blah. Let's see here. Big concentration of federal regulators on this panel. Let's see here. SEC discusses the prospect of SEC taking the lead in stablecoin regulation, leaving some actors in the crypto space unsettled. Speaking to Cointelegraph, ahead of the report's publication, Mr. Neil Gray, partner in the law firm at Duane Morris, said industry participants likely see the SEC's push to take point in this area just as another example of SEC overreach in the crypto space. There is fear that the SEC will regulate stablecoins by enforcement rather than by rule, as some perceiving it to do in other areas.
Yeah, like for instance for Coinbase, where they won't make rules about what's the security and what's not, but keep suing everybody.
Exactly. Just all enforcement and little regulatory clarity, right? For compliant crypto players, however, any kind of uncertainty is better than the lack thereof. One partner in privacy and cybersecurity practice law firm Sidley and the former Associate Deputy Attorney General at the U.S. Department of Justice both observed that clarity on the limits of each regulator's responsibilities was still welcome, noting in the absence of new regulation, stablecoins remain subject to the concurrent and potentially overlapping jurisdiction of a number of federal state regulatory regimes. This is why any agreement among the relevant federal agencies about who will take lead in regulating stablecoins is extremely important. All right, so yes, there's claims to authority. Who has authority in this domain? Everyone from the CFTC to the SEC, and then some could have authority here, waiting for Congress. And indeed, Congress, the ball is going to be kicked to Congress. Congress might have to determine what to do next. And this article is quite lengthy, guys. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. Link will be in the description below to see all the, well, there'll be even a link to the report if you want to read more as to what was floated. One last piece, guys. This is it for today. Speaking of Coinbase, this story from Bitcoin.com writes, Coinbase is now letting customers borrow up to $1 million using Bitcoin as collateral. The NASDAQ-listed crypto exchange Coinbase now letting customers borrow up to $1 million using Bitcoin as collateral. The company charges about 8% APR, but there is no credit check. Exchange said that the Bitcoin used as collateral, quote, remains safely held by Coinbase, emphasizing it's not lent out or used for any other purpose. Interesting. Cryptocurrency exchange announcing on Tuesday eligible customers can now apply for up to a $1 million USD loan collateralized by Bitcoin. You're going to have to pay that 8% APR. That's not cheap. Company explained can borrow up to 40% of the value of the Bitcoin they collateralize, up to $1 million. Each month you may need to pay the interest due. This line of credit has a demand feature and is repayable within 2 years of opening. Elaborating, Bitcoin you use as collateral remains safely held. Blah blah blah. All right, you get the idea. Nothing too remarkable here, except you know, they got their crypto lend product rejected, but I guess Coinbase is going to be fielding this new one. This come at a generous interest rate, but hey, for any OG Bitcoin OGs among the Coinbase client roll. You might very well be able to borrow up to $1 million against your big BTC bags. All right, nice little development for Coinbase, but nothing too remarkable. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next segment, guys. Big shout outs to everybody hanging with us this afternoon. Let's get into the bubbles. What's going on in the alt space today? Boy, kind of a mixed bag. In fact, kind of bloody across certain tokens. Let's get into some winners first. Maker having an outstanding day. Maker is up a little over 30% today. AMP, yes, the AMP token is up a little over 20%. AVAX, Avalanche up a little over 13%. And you got the likes of Sands up 10%. eGold's up 7%, and Raven is up about 6%. Comp, Luna, Solana. Yeah, Solana I think pushed up a few points today. I think Solana is at new all-time highs. Solana currently jockeying for position for the number 4 and 5 spot on CoinMarketCap with Cardano. Yes, Solana. What a run-up for Solana. Today, I think it's tapping the all-time highs, along with Ethereum. Yes, Ethereum is also at all-time highs today. It is looking pretty good out here, except there are quite a few losers as well. Let's get into a few of them. LRC. LRC had an outstanding day. I think it had like a major couple days in LRC, but it's given back a bit today. It's down 22% to lead today's big losers. What else? SafeMoon's down another 10% today. Secret, SCRT, Skirt. It's down nearly 7% today. ICX and Rune also down. Qtum, Theta, Clay, and a few others are down about 5 or more percent today. All right, so smattering of losers, a couple of big gainers. Sideways day in crypto, it seems like. Except, of course, for a few pushing all-time highs like I just mentioned. There's a look at the bubbles. Let's go ahead and get into the live chat. Who's kicking it with us this Wednesday afternoon? Expand out the chat window just a touch. And let's scroll up over here. Ron Legato, big shout outs to you. First guy in the chat today. Mr. Ether, not far behind. I see a request, Mr. Ether. Hang on. CryptoBull21, forgot all about my XYO. Well, hopefully your XYO has pumped just in time for you to remember. It might be time to dig out my tracker again. Yeah. Let's see, Mr. Ether. Yeah, I've been sitting in a wallet. Just been sitting in a wallet for years. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, your XYO. Ask about my wiener dog. Big shout outs to you, Mr. Wiener Dog on D Live. Franklin MC. Good morning, everyone. Big shout outs to Franklin MC. Crypto Jenny is also back with us on D Live. Hi there. Big hello to Crypto Jenny on the Wednesday. Cavano Trades. Hello, folks. Big happy Wednesdays all around. Mike Maker. What's up, everyone? Big shout outs to Mike Maker. Dave Rice. Alfonso Javier 3 on Twitch. Hola to you. Bflow joins us on YouTube as well. Hola from Bflow. Any word. Updating us on the Fear Greed Index. 76 over 100. Extreme greed today. Yeah, kind of hanging around at greed. Ask about my wiener dog. I see a request for Cardano. Hang tight. Xavier on YouTube. Hey guys, can you take a look at OXT? Yeah, I will add Orchid to the request line. Luna being added to the line too. We'll get to that. Murdoch the Murloc on Twitch. What's up? What's up? What's up? He says. BitConnect. All right. Yes, BitConnect. To all my homies in the Wednesday chat. Any word. Maker stablecoin DAI safe or at risk? Is the Maker stablecoin DAI safe or at risk? Not quite sure what you mean. Some big market calamity that could wipe out a lot of people's DAI holdings. Not too sure what you're referring to. Maybe Alex can has some insight. Maybe we'll get to Maker a little bit. It is one of the top gainers today. Cavano Trades on YouTube is with us as well. Big shouts to you. Murdoch already mentioned. The world is not the way it used to be anymore. No, it certainly isn't. David Rice, you grew, it cured, and now you smoke the little girls. Well, David Rice, the eternal toker of the live chat. Cavano Trades, already mentioned. Ask about my wiener dog. Would really like your opinion. What might happen with regulations on stablecoins? Something tells me extensive KYC and tracking. The government is going to demand everybody who processes stablecoin payments and all stablecoin wallets and so on and so forth will probably be tightly regulated and have your name and everything attached to them. Transparency, I think, will be critical for the government. Let's have a look here. David on Rice, roll them danks. This is great. Okay. Spent a decade in cannabis, or BOD for public company, and went through government regulation. Ultimately a good thing, but obviously comes with hassle. Yes, comes with a great deal of hassle and headache, but once you get it over with, then it's just a money-making enterprise from there on out, isn't it? Murdoch the Murloc requesting MIR, comp, and fit. Alright, I'll get to those in a few minutes. Polly B, big shout out to Polly B. Good to see you in the chat. Mike Maker, talking about how his XRP, ADA, and Algo are all pumping nicely today. Well, I'm glad to hear Mike Maker's bags are looking swole. Any word writes, how is Maker up after the stablecoin threats? More talk of stablecoin threats. I might have to visit the news again and see what's going on with these stablecoin threats. CryptoBull21, scare tactics won't work in crypto.
Threats? I thought we just looked at it,
Oh.
and the SEC is not going to be able to regulate them.
Yes, if you're talking about those stablecoin threats, DAI is kind of like a synthetic stablecoin, right? So I don't think it's going to be has the same regulatory concerns, for DAI,
Yeah.
as I would for something like USDC or Tether, of course. So not to say that regulation won't affect something like the DAI product later, but at the moment, I mean, I wouldn't be too immediately concerned about DAI as I would be other stablecoin offerings. Scare tactics don't work in crypto, not long term anyway, says Crypto Bull. Mike Maker says that's true. And WaterDog187 on Twitch says, after all, can you check out this coin? All right, I will add your question to the request line as well, my dear man. But that is that's everybody's comments. That's everybody's chat. We're all caught up on this Wednesday hump day. We're going to get into the TA next. Yes. Doing very well, moving along nicely on time today. Alex will share his screen momentarily. We're going to get right ahead and right into it. All right, that is the sound of Alex going live. I'm going to hop into that scene right now. Looking good. Let me, let me fix, allow me to reset the screen as on account of this no longer being Jason live. With that said, this is looking pretty good. All right, Alex, you are free to take over from here. I'm going to be logging people's requests. Everyone do enjoy this TA. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Jack. So we're looking for a pullback here on Bitcoin. As you can see, we've crossed below our daily moving average, the whole 60. We're currently stuck below resistance here. We kind of peaked above it, crashed, we got immediately rejected. Now we're stuck below it. Most likely we're looking to pull back towards 50,000, 48,000 area. And then we'll see what happens there. For those of you who are in the chat, you'll know I was super bearish, and I think I might be looking for a pullback all the way towards like 23,000 from here. This is a really strong rejection if you look at the 3-day. See, we have this very strong 3-day rejection candle here. We sidle back up to resistance one more time, are in the process of rejecting here. So the first place we will look for a, for a bounce, and maybe we will continue higher, is this 48,000 area. But I still feel, kind of, really, really bearish in this spot. Let's see. Huh. Okay, I guess my TA here isn't saved. By the way, you can see this area on a lot of charts, this $23,000 area, that I kind of like. Well, we'll see. As I said, for now, we're going to look for a pullback to retest this local point of control here, and we'll see what happens. I've also been bearish on Ethereum, but I suppose it doesn't make sense to be anymore with this new all-time high. I think that we should be looking towards maybe 6,500 area as this next spot. As long as we stay above $4,000 right now. If we cross back below $4,000 at all, this all becomes a short, and we'll need to seriously look at this. But for right now, I think it makes sense to remain bullish on Ethereum. Bitcoin dominance continues falling. I still expect a movement upwards here, even though we're still just kind of waiting on it. We'll see when we get it. For now, as Bitcoin trades sideways and down, money is flowing out of Bitcoin into the alts. People are kind of taking profits, moving it over. Uniswap perp continuing to trade sideways here. So far, it could go either way. Dragon perp doing neither thing here. So instead of coming up to retest resistance or breaking down to support, it broke down but then reached up to retest resistance. So I don't know. For right now, this is bullish, especially here above resistance. Same for DeFi perp. This is looking bullish here on DeFi tokens. Privacy perp continues trading sideways, not so great. This is, I think this is almost a short here. Just don't quite have the cross under. Exchange perp just kind of reaching up to retest resistance, not looking that great. Should perp also inside another area of resistance. We'll see what happens in this spot. Mid perp also still at resistance. All perp looking better than mid perp, should perp, and exchange perp did, but not as strong as DeFi perp. Yeah, I don't love most of these charts. I feel like a lot of these charts are just asking for, just a sweep of these lows before we move on here. Okay, so today the crypto markets are actually kind of down. There's a few charts that are up. There's Maker, there's Sand, ADA, somewhat. But for the most part, the crypto markets are down. So crypto markets down, dollar up today. Dollar sideways today. Yep. Okay. All right, dollar sideways. Dow sideways. Yeah. Dow kind of down today. Okay, well, NASDAQ basically up today. S&P 500 sideways today. Kind of gap down a little bit, trade up, just hang out here, huh? It's interesting. So the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ diverging a little bit today. Overall, I wouldn't really call them bearish, although the Dow Jones looks a little bit like it may pull back in this spot, having crossed over our uptrend that we had been holding. Maybe there's like a better way to draw this. Maybe that's our problem. Maybe if we draw it this way, and hey, we haven't actually broken this uptrend yet. Although we do have a bearish divergence. Ooh. Okay, let's take a look at world markets. Gold fakes out above 1800, immediately rejects back below it. Not a great look. So far, we just seem to be slowly trending down here on gold. We're still long here, conceptually, on silver, as long as we're above this $23 area. If we cross back below it, we'll look to be short. But for right now, I still think we can move back up towards $26 here on silver. Palladium, unsurprisingly, continues to trade below resistance here. I still think we're going to look to take palladium on a break upwards. Kind of retest from below before ultimately falling back down. Platinum rejecting from resistance, crossing below our trend line, and dropping below our daily baseline. Overall, rather bearish looking. Probably, if you're long platinum, you'd want to dump it. Look to find a short position. Nothing really to do with copper here. Probably going to continue to trend low or trend down. Ooh. Brent crude has broken the uptrend. Very least, I think you can take this back towards 79.25 or so. You can see there's an interesting block right there. Corn finally did get this breakout. It's good. We're gonna look to take this at least towards 625. Natural gas continues just kind of struggling here at resistance. It could go either way. I wouldn't do much with it. Soybeans, huh? Well, we did get the break. Mm. Yeah, okay. I'm just not completely sold yet. I feel like there's another way to draw this trend line where we haven't broken it yet. Let's wait for a little bit more. Wheat. We've been talking about this. We've been looking for this break above resistance for a while now. This is likely to go parabolic in this spot. Let's look at wheat on the monthly. Look at that. Aussie 200 still trapped below resistance. I want to see a cross. I want to see just like a peg resistance, cross back under. If we can do that, we'll short it again. I'm trying to 50, still below resistance. France is very strong here. It's interesting. Well, certainly can't short it. Alex at the pass declared with this. As long as we're above it, not ready to short this yet. So I think we took this as a weekly trend. So we broke here on the weekly. We've held, pushed up a little bit. So far, this looks more bullish than bearish. Hong Kong, I can't really tell what this is doing. It looks like it could be accumulating at this level, but I would just not touch it. I think this sly little devil might have just pushed us out of our shorts and then reversed. All right, well, we'll see. If we fall back below 7,200 here, we will go short again on the UK, even though we were pretty short and we got pushed out of this. That's the way the markets work. It's fine, you know? Even if you get pushed out of a trade like 2 to 3 times, the markets still keep looking like they're going to reverse. You should, still consider taking the trade. Finally, India is starting to look a little weak here. We're probably in for some more sideways before we get a short. I just wouldn't do anything here yet, but it's starting to weaken. Ooh, interesting. Japan's showing some strength on the weekly here. Netherlands are about to put in a really stellar looking continuation long. Taiwan appears as if it's going to reject from this resistance level. If we can get like a good cross under on a higher time frame of some sort, we'll think about taking this short again. But after this like triple top pattern just got faded, I really want to see like a strong break before we try and short this again. Bonds. Bonds not looking so great. Interesting volume coming in on the 2-year. Look at that. Wow. Potentially accumulation. Oof. Russell 2000 showing a really lovely break up here. This is bullish. That's a true break. If you can get some kind of retest, I would look to long the Russell 2000 here in this spot. Break of the downtrend here on, is this a break of the downtrend? Almost a break of the downtrend here on 10-year Deutsche Bunds, German bonds. So, almost. I mean, when you look on higher time frames, it doesn't look super strong, right? Well, I guess it's enough for now. World markets don't look awful. I especially like the breakup on the Russell 2000. If small businesses are going to do well in the U.S., I think that's a good sign for the economy. Usually, stocks tend to follow what small business what the Russell 2000 does. So we saw a lot of consolidation while the Russell 2000 was consolidating sideways, and hopefully we'll most of the growth in the stock market has been the top 5 major stocks, the FANGs. So we'll see what happens here. Tentatively, tentatively bullish in traditional markets and tentatively bearish in crypto. What's next? Let's
And
do
getting
stuff.
to the requests, guys. Let's do it. That's what y'all been waiting for. Let me put the first request up on the screen. I got quite a few requests logged for today, guys. Doing great on time. Here's the first one of today. Getting it up now. We have the following for Mr. Ether. Wants to look at XYO and GALA. Alright, let's begin with XYO.
Well, we'll just wait a minute for this to load. Maybe more like, yeah. For right now, GALA looks strong, or excuse me, XYO looks strong. We appear to be breaking over resistance here. If we can hold this break of 45 cents, then I think we can keep going. It's GALA.
Yes, sir. GALA after XYO.
Mm. I don't know. This one doesn't necessarily look as strong to me. Offhand, when I look at all these wicks, it reminds me of when Hex was at resistance and we thought it was going to pull back, and it was really just more sideways accumulation before it moved up more. But I mean, just looking at GALA here, I don't, other than the fact that we've held this held the uptrend here, I don't see necessarily any particular strength or weakness in this spot. I wouldn't do anything with it here. What's next?
Alright, let's go ahead and get into the next request. Let me do that now. Boris Bitcoin, I just added yours. Shoutouts to Boris, just coming through the chat now. Getting into the next request. Ask about my wiener dog. Wants to look at Cardano.
I don't really like Cardano here below the resistance of $2.30. I mean, it's cool that we had like a nice strong day. It's not quite. All right, well, let's say that this is a descending wedge. Let's treat this, let's get a measured move out of it. Damn it, no, finally. Well, if so, this would give us probably at least a retest of the highs. It's more like this. Yeah, then we're really looking at a retest of the highs. Maybe this one makes like more sense. Yeah, okay. I would look for a bounce back up here, a little bit more sideways, but I think still ultimately I want to see a pullback here on ADA. More than I'm expecting a move upwards here. I mean, look, we've already moved up quite a lot here. I think it makes more sense to see like a larger pullback and reaccumulation. What's next?
All right, that would be a look at Cardano. Let's see here. Ask about my wiener dog says, yeah, I saw the wedge on Cardano, and I think we're gonna retest higher, potentially a new support line. All right, shout outs to ask about my wiener dog. But there's a look at Cardano. Up next, MINA, MINA, that one.
The weekly here sure doesn't look strong. The daily doesn't look particularly strong either. I wouldn't do anything with it here, and it could become a short opportunity soon. What's next?
All right, that was Mita, straight to the point. Let's go ahead and get into the next request. Orchid OXT for Daniel in the live chat. Can you guys take a look at OXT? Yeah, sure can.
Uh, this is not very helpful anymore. I don't really know how I feel about it. Overall, it looks more bullish than bearish. If I were in a long, I would stay in it, but I wouldn't long it from this spot. If you're in a long, I would just kind of wait to see what happens here. What's next?
All right, shout outs to Daniel for a look at Orchid. Let's maybe talk about a comment or two in here in the live chat. Cybernetics, the YouTube chat says, Charles, this refers to, I think, Mr. Hoskinson over at Cardano. Charles is arguably a bigger scammer than Dick Hart. Crazy, but it's kind of true. Well, the jury's still out, but indeed, a lot of people feel that way about Cardano or Hoskinson in particular. But shout outs to Cybernetics of the chat. Haven't seen you before. Please do follow and subscribe. Love to have you around. With that said, we got the next request up next. Goes from CryptoBall21. Luna, good for long before it hits new all-time highs?
We'll see. Yeah, it looks good for long, man. Well, actually, it might be a little overextended on my system for the long, but I mean, if you wanted to fudge it just a little bit, it could make sense. I mean, here we are closing above the previous resistance level. Time transformation likes it. Wada likes it. We're a little above the qualifying line, but you could make the argument that it's still worth taking. Definitely keep your eyes on the uptrend, and if we fall below it at all, then I would look to quickly switch my position here. What's next?
All right, brilliant. That was a look at Luna for Crypto Bull. What's next? We have the following: Solana. Goodbye at retest of all-time high. Okay, so Crypto Bull asking if Solana would be a good test when we retest all-time highs.
You mean retest the previous all-time high?
Probably.
Maybe. Mm. I mean, I just don't see a good place to snag this long. Yeah, if we were retesting the previous high, I wouldn't want to buy here. I think it's too easy for us to just keep falling through. I mean, I tell you what, if we retest it and then bounce up, then I would be willing to long that, but I wouldn't want to long here, and I wouldn't want to long the retest itself. What's next?
All right, getting into the next request. Big shout outs to Crypto Bull who brought us those two. We're gonna get into the next one. We got Maker for Murdoch to Murloc.
I mean, there's just nothing we can really do with it here in this spot. We can't take it. You may want to consider taking profits here, but there's not like a take profit signal or anything.
Yep.
So it's either nothing to do if you're in the long. Well, there's nothing to do if you're in a long or if you're not in a long. This wouldn't do anything here. What's next?
All right, so that would be Maker. Let's go to Comp real quick. By the way, D-Livians, get ready. I'm gonna go open up that D-Live chest in about 2 minutes time. Drop a few lemons, won't you?
Comp is a good looking long here, I think. It's not. It's like too late to long it on my system. The long was. Yeah, I don't think you could have ever longed it on my system. There was maybe a continuation long you could have taken right here. Would have been here, I think. Yeah, if you're in it, I would stay in it, but it's too late to take the long on my system. What's next?
Up next is going to be a MIR. Mir.
This looks really good. If you can, try and buy it on some sort of retest of $3.35 or so. Somewhere around here, see if you can snag it here. But I think this will continue onwards and at least retest 450, maybe even 515 area. What's next?
Up next, we have FET. Yes, F-E-T.
Ooh.
D-Livians, get ready. That chest is coming your way in about 30 seconds.
Wow, we really held this area of resistance, didn't we? Push. Move up. Yeah, this looks like it has legs. If you're in this, I would definitely hold on to FET in this spot. TradingView doesn't really want to load the weekly right now. There we go. It should be a nice weekly continuation signal here too. What's next?
Okay, here's what we're getting into next. Shoutouts to the D-Live winner about to be awarded right now. David Rice. No, it's Franklin MC. No, my bad. It's Anyword. Anyword coming in first place with a little over 50 lemons. Big shoutouts to Anyword, Franklin MC, and Anyword. David Rice, Mike Maker, and ETH1. Sorry for that, guys. Challenge reading that list today, but there is your lemon giveaway winners. Let's go ahead and get into the last couple of requests before we wind the show up for today. Comp. Yes, Comp is next.
No, I already did Comp.
We already did Comp. Next up is going to be something new. It's from WaterDog187 Afternoon All. Can you check out RAINI Corn? You might be familiar with this one.
Sure, I've got it.
Oh, okay. You know RAINI Corn. He wrote specifically, I bought 80,000 at 0.004. I recently took enough profits to get my investment back and a little extra. I got 56,000 RAINIs left and I just hit a new all-time high. I'm tempted to let this ride to the peak of the alt season, but there's a nice profit all-time high, and I'm, so he's debating whether or not to be greedy or take profit here.
According to my TA, we're like right at resistance here. So like we break down, we travel sideways, then we retest the trend resistance from below. There is technically no other reason that you would want to take profits in this spot, but maybe it makes sense to take profits here. Yeah, I mean that's all I've really got here, man. So I would say this is like your call. If we break back up to the other side of this, then that's very bullish. But as long as we're on this side of it, I probably would have already ended up taking profits around here.
Indeed.
What's up?
Not much more to add. Not much more to add to. Oh.
That's it. No, I don't have much more to add.
Okay, brilliant. Let's continue. We have the following, and we're going to be wrapping the show up shortly, guys. David Rice on D Live wants to look at VET and Cardano.
Already looked at Cardano?
Indeed, we did. So it's going to be VET only.
Cardano just kind of hanging out at resistance. Excuse me, VET just kind of hanging out at resistance. I wouldn't really be interested in it here. In fact, it looks like it's about to become short. Or it's going to enter short territory. We're going to be crossing below the daily baseline and get this bearish divergence, but we probably won't have enough to take an initial short. Still, overall, I'm not really interested in VET in this position. What's next?
All right, VET, nothing doing. Cardano off the list already. Big shout outs to David Rice of the D Live chat. Getting into the next one, it was from Van Frick of D Live. Wants to look at CRO.
Ooh, finally making a new all-time high today. This kind of looks like this has legs to continue here. Turned out this was an inverse head and shoulders. It's kind of nice. As long as if we can close and stay above 25 cents, then I say stay in it. If we start to close back below 24 cents, I'd be a little concerned that we were rejecting from resistance again. But for right now, as long as we remain above this level, sure, I'm bullish. What's next?
All right, brilliant. That was a look at CRO, looking pretty good. Getting into the next one, want to look at BTT, Bitcoin token.
Nothing really special looking here. Just kind of trading sideways at the local point of control. I wouldn't do anything with it.
Cool.
What's next?
All right, I like how swiftly this is moving along, guys. Gonna get into a couple more requests before we wrap it up. Polkadot is next.
So I was pretty bearish on this as long as we were below resistance. But for right now, let's move this. Right now, it's holding the uptrend. It's made a new high. I think this could keep pumping into the parachain auctions coming up in the next couple weeks, and then afterwards, I think people will probably DOT will probably dump once demand once demand goes away, and then people will kind of be trapped screaming in their bags on the way down, because parachain auctions, you're locked in for a couple years. We'll see what happens. For right now, I think you should probably remain bullish on DOT.
Bullish on DOT. Noted. All right. Let's continue. We got Prophetic Fulfillment on YouTube, right? So what are your thoughts on Tron? All right, TRX. Well, we can tell you what the chart reads. Let's see what we got.
Just kind of hanging out at resistance still. TRX Bitcoin was looking kind of interesting here. I mean, we had this break of the downtrend. And we're hanging out right at previous support, right? So support here, support here, support here, support here. I mean, why not, right? We've had support several other times in this spot. TRX USD doesn't look much good. TRX Bitcoin is intriguing, but I don't think it's time to take either trade yet. Just kind of wait to see what happens. And if we get a bullish movement, like off of this bottom, and then we get a bullish movement, you know, an equally bullish movement here on USDT, then I think it could make more sense. Yeah. You know, the weekly here doesn't look that bad on TRX USDT. It looks like we tried to break down, we just couldn't. It was kind of breaking up instead. It's interesting. Either way, I'm not ready to take this trade.
All right, well, that was a look at Tron. Big shout outs to Prophetic on the YouTube chat. Bitcoin just had a gnarly lower time frame candle. If you want to pull up BTC.D, Alex, check out the 15-minute.
Yeah,
nice little 4% stab down, got bought up immediately.
Sure, that's rough looking.
All right,
we'll see what happens, but you guys know my feelings on higher time frames. I think Bitcoin is bearish here. You can see we just definitely crawled below our moving average. We're just kind of trying to take this as like a baseline bounce short, and once we get the cross under here on Bitcoin, whenever that is, could be later today, depending on how bearish. At this time, we would get a short signal, a continuation short signal here on Bitcoin. But we'll see what the end of the day looks like.
All right. Let's get into the next request. Of course, I'm gonna check in on the Fed meeting. We'll see if any developments coming off the back of that. With that said, let's get into one of the last requests of the day. Actually, before I do into this one, there's a brief question here. Someone asking what chapter of the book is being discussed today at the mentorship session.
We're still discussing preface in chapter 1.
All right, there you have it. All right, Caballo Trades.
You know, we just haven't gotten much interest from folks on this book. I may change the book.
Gotcha. Well, that will be discussed. We will deal with that at the session. In the meantime, Caballo Trades, you have one of the last requests of the day. He wants to look at a traditional CGC. Yes, Canopy Growth Corp.
It's not much for us to do in this spot. You know, unfortunately, it's just kind of right below any support levels. It's like in the middle of a movement, and you draw this on the weekly. And we haven't broken this downtrend yet. On the daily, maybe you can make the argument we have. You saw how I could draw it, where you know we're just kind of touching it, but we still haven't quite broken it here. I'd just be cautious. Maybe it could reverse here, but you should probably wait until the reversal like actually starts to happen. Otherwise, you could be very sorry.
All right, well, that would be Canopy Growth Corp. We're 10 minutes after the hour. We do got to get to a mentorship session. Not sure how many more requests we're going to be able to field, but we'll see. We'll see in just a moment. I want to cover something here. Yeah, so the Fed meeting did take place, guys. I will give you a brief update by reading this blurb. Let's see here. Fed officials took the first major step toward withdrawing monetary policy support, laying out a plan to slow their asset buying program. Here's a quote. In light of a substantial further progress the economy has made toward the committee's goals since last December, the committee decided to begin reducing the monthly pace of its net asset purchases. In a statement released Wednesday referring to its policy, the central bank has been buying 120 billion in mortgage-backed securities and treasury bonds each month. It will reduce this by 15 billion per month starting this month. All right, so it's going to start winding things down about 2 to 10% a month, which affects borrowing costs because they're of course concerned about the inflation running hot. All right, so that's the little Fed meeting today. Tapering of the mortgage-backed securities and other buying. All right, with that said, I'm going to read out the remaining requests. If one of these interests you, let me know. If not, we're going to begin to wind it down. Ali Samil. Hey, Alex, can you guys take a look at Phil? And eGold, Boris Bitcoin, happy hump day. Would like to get Alex's thoughts on eGold if there is time. And finally, the last request I have logged, Mike Maker wants to look at XRP and Tezos. Any of those look interesting? You want to go straight to the exit?
We can look at all of them. It'll only be a few minutes.
All right then, Alex, extra generous today. Much thanks. Filecoin it is. FIL.
I mean, I just don't see much strength here in Filecoin. Maybe we broke the downtrend here. Maybe. I just don't think I'm ready to take this at this time. I need more out of it. All right, eGold.
eGold, my friend, is next.
eGold looks pretty strong here. I'd be willing to long this most likely. It's maybe a little bit beyond our system, but maybe you could just, kind of fudge it. I think for now, as long as we hold the uptrend, it's worth probably holding on to this. And what's the last one?
Finally, we have the remaining outspores Bitcoin's eGold request. We have XRP and Tezos. Either or for Mike Maker.
XRP is along on my system, especially if we can close below the qualifying line here. XRP Bitcoin doesn't look bad either. As you can see, we've broken this downtrend above the daily baseline, moving up off of support. Okay, I think XRP could be a decent trade. Ooh. Thinking Tezos could bounce back up towards 750, but if that happens, that would only be another shorting opportunity. I think at this time, we should look for more of a pullback on Tezos. Yeah, it's gonna come up, retest this area from below, reject. Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't really see a lot on Tezos here. Okay.
All right. That would be it, guys. That would be the last request. Big shout out to Mike Maker and everybody else that came through today. And my hat's off to Alex, extra generous with his time today. Thank you, thank you. All right, let me see here, guys. It's time to go to the exits. You know what we got to do here. And that is wind the show down. One other thing to maybe note, we'll maybe look at it next time, Alex, but meet the new meme stocks. Apparently there's a move over GME and AMC. Bed Bath & Beyond and Avis car rental are apparently the latest ones getting squeezed. Alright, so GME, move over. We'll maybe explore that tomorrow. I'm just reading that now as I begin to wind things down. Excuse the erratic coverage here. With that said, guys, much thanks to everybody who kicked it with us this afternoon. For the Wednesday installment, we are going to go to the mentorship session in about 45 minutes. Look forward to seeing everyone there. If you are interested, of course, joining us in the mentorship sessions, you are not yet a premium member, highly encourage you to check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com for our premium offerings. Also, do check out results.krakencryptocurrency.com because we're finally caught up on the results. Do check out the performance of our analysts, their trading strategies, their wealth management, find out more about their trading and their performance at results.krakencryptocurrency.com. Otherwise, check us out in the Discord. The link, of course, is discord.cc.com. Look forward to having everybody there. Thanks again, everybody kicked it with us. See you tomorrow. The Thursday installment will be here about less than 24 hours now. Justin returns for his second Thursday installment. Really excited. Last Thursday went off great. Look forward to having him there. Once again, thanks to Alex. Final words to you as well.
Trade safely.
That's it. See you guys. Peace out.